In today's episode of Value on My Toy Collection, we're going to value some toys we had in a very back room at the toy house. There's a lot of good stuff here. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum. So it's finally happened. I've bought a building, and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Well, let's jump right in and start valuing everything. First off, on the floor, we have a Statue of Liberty rug worth about $35. We paid $99 for it, but I don't think it's worth that much. Then we have some Lizzie McGuire plush dolls, and each of these are worth at least $30 each. We have the jewelry stand in the box that's worth $30. And then we have here's another Lizzie McGuire plush worth at least $30. Some of them went up to like $75 and $80. And then a My Life doll chair worth about $6. And then we have the Lizzie McGuire puzzle, and the puzzle is worth about $15. Then from 2003, we have the Hilary Duff dolls. We have 3 different versions of these dolls, and each of these dolls are worth about $30 each. So with 3 of them, we can add another $90 to our overall grand total at the end of the video. Then up here on another shelf, we have this Hilary Duff doll in this black and white polka dot dress worth about $30. And then we have this doll set where they're sisters. It's a sisters shopping spree, I believe. And this one's worth about $75. And then her sister Haley is also worth about $75. And then we have this Ashley Tisdale doll. And believe it or not, it goes for about $110 online. That's pretty valuable. Then we have a Gwen Stefani doll, and she's worth about $50. And then we have a Dennis Rodman doll. He's worth about $30. And then from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, we have Bedtime Sabrina laying down in her bed, worth about $30. Then we have these really cute Fisher-Price houses, and these are worth about $20 each. And we have 5 of these, so believe it or not, that's about $100 more we can add to our overall grand total. I see why these are kind of collectible because they're super cute and super detailed. And then we have one more house, but this one's a Melissa and Doug house. It's called a lock house. It has different doorknobs you can unlock with these keys, and it's worth about $20. We have some more Sabrina the Teenage Witch dolls. This is Sabrina and Harvey from 1999. And they're worth about $35. And then we have the single box Sabrina. She's worth about $30. And then we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Salem the cat, worth about $50. And then we have the Sabrina doll by herself, just in a white dress, and she's worth about $35 from 1997. The Harvey doll by himself is worth about $35. And then we have a different version. These are the little cartoon figures, and the figure's worth $80. It's crazy that one's worth so much. I don't know why that's so collectible. Then I turned it over to see it has some more figures, but we only have that one, unfortunately. And then we have the tall version of this, the cartoon doll, and she's worth about $50. That's crazy. The small figure is worth more than the big figure. Then we have a Mandy Moore doll. She's worth about $50 still in the box. And from That's So Raven, we have this doll, and she's worth about $80. There's a picture of Raven on the back. And then we have one more from that line. This is the 2005 Style and Hair Raven. She's worth about $65. Then we have the MC Hammer doll. He's worth about $35. Next up, we have the VIP doll, which is Pamela Anderson, and she's worth about $75. And then we have Serena Williams and Venus Williams. Serena Williams is worth about $60 still in the box. I got her on sale for $10 on clearance. And then Venus Williams is worth about $75. She's worth a little bit more. Then we have from the Matrix, Neo and Trinity. These dolls are worth about $25 for the set. I thought they were going to be worth a little bit more, but I think I got these at a thrift store pretty cheap. And then from the 1998 Prince of Egypt series, we have the Queen, and she's worth about $50. And then it shows on the back, there's 4 different characters, and we actually have all 4 of these characters. And we have the loose Prince Moses, worth about $25, and then one in the box worth about $50. And then we have Moses in the box, he's worth $60, and then the loose version, he's worth about $25. And then there's one more doll to that set in the back. I think her name's Zipporah, and she's worth about $50 as well. Had this random Hannah Montana lock, and that's worth about $10. And then we have Jessica Rabbit figure still on the card, and Jessica's pretty valuable. She's worth about $45. And they had 5 different figures, but I only did get that one. All right, then we have Stars on Ice. We have Christy, oh my God, what's her last name? Yamaguchi, that's it, Christy Yamaguchi. And these are worth about $20 each. Barbie just came out with a new Christy Yamaguchi doll about a year ago. All right, let's see who else we have. We have Christina Aguilera, worth about $35. And then we have Laura Croft, the Tomb Raider, worth about $50. I think that was Angelina Jolie that played her. And then we have Aaron Carter, worth about $35. He passed away recently. And let's see who else we have. We have Olga Tanan, worth $30. I'm not familiar with her. I don't even remember where I got this doll. She must be a Spanish celebrity. All right, let's see. We have this little Western figure here. He's worth about $5. And then we have Flojo, and she's worth about $30. And then we have a NASCAR Barbie in the back, and she's worth about $25. We have the dolls from Beverly Hills 90210, but someone took these out of the box, some of them at least. Brandon, he's worth about $40. Brenda's worth about $25 because you see she's loose in the box. I need to tie her back in and see if I can put her accessories back on. And let's see who else we have here. This is Donna. She's worth about $30. And then Dylan, he's worth about $40. That's Luke Perry. He's already passed away, and so did Shannon Dougherty. And then we have Kelly. She's worth about $30. Not super valuable, but still has a little value. Have this really cool Albert Einstein figure, and he's worth about $10. Then we have from Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, the Burgermeister Meisterburger figure. He's worth about $40. From the Corgi car line, we have Tom and Jerry. This is Tom's car, worth about $13. And then we have Jerry's car, also worth about $13. Have this little Flip-A-Zoo figure set. It's worth about $8. And then we have this little Get Smart, Maxwell Smart from Get Smart. He's worth about $15. I think that show is from the 60s. Then we have this little pile of erasers worth about $2. And then we have 3 packs of these really cool ones. And I think these are worth at least $4 a pack to collectors. So that's another, $12 we can add to our total at the end of the video. All right, then we have a Dynamite magazine from the, I think that's late 70s. And it's worth about $10 with Gary Coleman on the front. Have this little songbird whistle worth about $10. Those are so cool. You put water in it and then it sounds like a real bird. Have this little thing of silly putty worth about $8. And then a little older one that's bigger, worth about $10. And then we have this little pack of giraffe rulers. I think they're so cute. They're worth about $3 for the set. And then when we went to Alaska in 2019, I picked up this calendar. It's a shrimp calendar, and it's got the cutest little pictures they did of posing little shrimps to do different scenes. And it has something different for all 12 months. It's probably worth about $6. I really can't remember what I paid for it, but I think it was more than $6 because it came from one of those little chic souvenir shops on the main road, and everything's a little bit higher there, but when you're on vacation, sometimes you don't mind spending that. All right, we have some celebrity dolls here. We have a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers ceramic figure. They're worth about $35 for the set. Then we have a W.C. Fields doll. He's worth about $20 because I don't think I have his hat that goes with him. And then we have this cool Humphrey Bogart 16-inch Esco chalkware statue worth about $65. I think I got that at a garage sale. And then we have George Burns. He's from 1996, worth about $30. And then this Mae West doll is also worth about $30. Then we have another Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire set, and they're worth about $30 each. $30 for Ginger, and then $30 for Fred Astaire. They look like they'd be worth a little bit more than that, but that's what they're going for. Have this really nice Cary Grant doll. He's worth about $50. Maybe he'll increase in value. I'm not sure. Have this regular doll. She's just a porcelain, like a princess doll. She's probably worth about $20 to collectors. Have a Sherlock Holmes doll. He's worth about $30. And then Groucho Marx, also worth about $30. And then we have a Frank Sinatra doll that does sing, and he's worth about $50. Then we have this cool Inspector Gadget toy, and he's worth about $20. And then we have Penny, his niece, still in the package, and she's worth $100. She was really valuable. And then we have Inspector Gadget in the package, and he's worth about $35. Not as valuable as Penny. And then we have some Olivia dolls. This one is really cute. It's the Opera Olivia, and she's worth about $38 in the package. And then we have this one called Puppy Love, or Pup Love, and it's worth $38 as well. And then we have the Surfer, worth $35. And then the Vet Olivia, worth about $38. We have Olivia's father, Luce, Nathan. He's worth about $6. And then we have the house that's still in the box, and it's worth about $60 in the box. And then we also have one out of the box that's worth more like $15 out of the box. And then we have this Olivia costume dress-up set worth about $75. Having Olivia still in the box, she's worth about $50. And then we have this box with the Olivia car and the family worth about $50. And then we have the family set by itself worth about $30. And then I found a random Babe figure we have, and it's worth about $20. All right, then we have some Gumby merchandise. We have this little Gumby, it's not a bobblehead, it's some kind of bobbler worth about $20 in a hula skirt. And then I found I had a couple Olivia plush. This one's worth about $16, and the one in the dress is worth about $15. Just needs a little bath. Then we have these small Gumby figures, and I tried looking them all up, and they were just all over the board. So I think a good average price for these was about $4 each, and we have 8 of those, so that's $32 more we can add to our overall grand total. These little pins from the 80s are worth $20 for the set. And then this larger plastic rubbery Gumby and Pokey, they're worth about $8 each. And then we actually have a second set of those. So that's what, $32 more to add. We have a Pokey plush doll that's worth about $15. And then we have a big Gumby plush doll that's worth about $15. And then let's see, we have one more plush Pokey back there, and that's worth another $15. See what else we have. All right, we have this little 2-pack that says it's from to look like the 1980s, and they're worth about $15, but they're newer. They're not from the 80s. And then we have Pokey still in the package. He's worth about $25. And then on the back, you can see they have all the different ones, but I don't have the whole set of that. I don't even remember where all this stuff came from. I've had it so many years. I've been collecting toys for like 40 years now. Then we have Gumby in the package. He looks like an astronaut. He's worth about $25. And let's see what else. I see we got some more stuff. Here's a little play set. It kind of looks like an Asian play set, worth about $25, still in the box. And then from 1995, we have this 7-pack of Gumby with its friends, and it's worth about $35. And then we had this random Fisher-Price little gardening set, a flower basket set from 1981, worth $15. And then from 2019 Pixar, we have the Soul Joel Gardner figure worth $20. The little Disney 100 figure from the Happy Meal toy worth about $3. And then these Happy Meal toys from some of the different characters from Soul are worth about $5 each. All right, then we found a Beverly Hills 90210 car still in the package, worth about $15. We have these large Dick Tracy dolls from 1990. We have Breathless Mahoney, who was played by Madonna, worth about $40. And then we have the Dick Tracy doll, and he's worth about $60. And then we have a loose Breathless Mahoney doll out of the box, worth about $20. Have these Dick Tracy party plates worth about $10. And then we have this Dick Tracy Frisbee still in the package, worth about $15. And then we have a whole set of these small Dick Tracy dolls. They all have their original sticker from Big Lots. I think they were about $2.49 back in the day. But these are each worth about $15 each. And we have the whole set of 6. So that's about $90 more we can add to our grand total at the end of the video. But I think these dolls are great. They look like little gangsters. And then here's the Madonna doll. And look, she comes with a nice little Dick Tracy stand. The stand's worth about $5. And then here's the Dick Tracy doll. And then we have the CD from the movie, and it's worth about $8. And then these are really hard to see. These are little like lapel pins of Dick Tracy. And we have 2 of these. This one's worth about $8. And then this one's also worth about $8. And then we have some trading cards. They're worth probably $1 each at the most. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see these hat pins, the lapel pins a little better. They're really cute. All right, then we have a Baywatch African-American Barbie. She's worth about $40. And then we have the big Baywatch doll set, and it's worth about $80. And then randomly, we have a Bill and Ted figure from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, worth about $80. We have a Kylie Jenner Bratz doll, worth about $25. And then we have another one where she's in the long dress with the dog, also worth about $25. We have this LOL 3-in-1 Party Cruiser still in the box, worth $43. And this big ceramic girl we got at a thrift store, and she's worth about $20. I think she's pretty awesome. Well, that's everything we have for this video. So with our previous 435 videos of value in my toy collection, our collection was worth $1,074,759. Now, after we include this video with all of our little celebrity dolls and just a bunch of miscellaneous toys, we can add another $4,475 to our overall grand total. So that means for this episode 436 of Value in My Toy Collection, our new grand total is $1,079,234. I always wanted to say I owned $1 million toy collection, and now I can. I don't really think I'm a millionaire though. I think I'm more of a toyonaire because it's not cash money, it's toys. But I'm not a millionaire, seriously. I've just been collecting toys all my life, going to thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales, toy stores, looking online, and it's just accumulated to that big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I like to see what all I have and what it's actually worth, because it's just been buried on shelves for years collecting dust. And I'm putting all the toys online on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. And if you like our videos, please think about subscribing, because it certainly helps us grow. So until our next video, we will see you then.